Hey, what is up guys? It is Silver Sun here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review on the Dragon Ball Super episode 85. So this episode pretty much starts off with Gohan and Goku pretty much flying, trying to recruit some people for the Tournament of Power, and so Gohan thinks that he'll go and ask Piccolo to join them, in on the tournament and whatnot. Meanwhile, Goku pretty much spots, Majin Buu, so he goes to check that out. And then pretty much we con over to this Supreme Kai, who's pretty much gathering all the other Kais, all the other angels. Well, not just the Kais, all the other Supreme Kais at first, and they're pretty much like just discussing like how they're gonna survive this Tournament of Power and whatnot, like what can they do in order to not be erased and whatnot. But they don't really get along and whatnot. They start like bickering and arguing amongst each other and whatnot. So pretty much he turns to Universe 11, saying that they have probably the strongest warriors throughout all the universes and whatnot. And then pretty much we cut back to Goku, who's pretty much introduced to this new Super Buu like looking regular Majin Buu, Mr. Buu, whatever you want to call him. Pretty much Buu's like slimmed down, and he's like all strong now and whatnot. And so pretty much Goku spars with him a bit at Satan's like little I don't think it's his house. It's just something that he owns, a building that he owns, little getaway house you could say. But pretty much they start fighting and whatnot. Buu pretty much launches a whole bunch of ki blasts at Goku, like dozens of them, like hundreds of them basically, lots of ki blasts, and pretty much it's like kind of distracting Goku a little bit, like he's trying to knock them away and push them away and stuff like that. And pretty much Buu's told, he can't kill any of the opponents and whatnot, he can only like knock them out of bounds. So pretty much he uses those ki blasts to distract Goku, and then pretty much catches him off guard and then knocks him out of bounds. And so pretty much that taught Goku, a lesson there and whatnot. And so pretty much he goes off. I think, who was he gonna recruit? I think it was, he was gonna go to the to Dende and them and whatnot. And mind you, he was in his base form when he was fighting this Buu. So pretty much that kind of tells you what it needs to tell you about the power gaps and whatnot there. And I don't know, I feel like some people are kind of blowing this whole like power gap thing out of proportion and whatnot, from last episode with Goku going Super Saiyan Blue against Krillin of all people, to now him just being in base form fighting like this new Majin Buu and whatnot. I mean, it doesn't completely matter to me and whatnot. I mean, it's not that ridiculous. I'm pretty sure Goku's just, taking it easy on these guys, whether or not he's in Super Saiyan Blue form or not. That's just how I feel about it anyways. So we cut to this place. I'm not really sure what it's called, but pretty much we're in a different setting now, and pretty much Toppo comes out from the ship wearing a tuxedo of all things, and pretty much he just like walks into this bar and whatnot, and pretty much he's just sitting there eating some food, thinking about Goku's Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken form and whatnot, and how powerful it was and such. And then pretty much this general guy comes by and is pretty much saying like, oh, why do you look like that? Why you all shooken up and stuff like that. And so pretty much Toppo pretty much says like like the whole universe kind of rests on my shoulders now and whatnot and stuff like that, until his watch and the general's watch, pretty much both of their watches start beeping and whatnot, and they pretty much spring into action, and they go into another ship where they're pretty much dressed up in their Pride Trooper like uniforms, and they pretty much go off to some other planet because there's this crazy creature pretty much attacking it. Meanwhile, Champa, he's pretty much talking to all the other gods of destruction, pretty much just like having this little meeting of theirs and whatnot. And then pretty much everyone's like starting to like hate Universe 7, and they're pretty much like having it out for that one universe in particular, and that's pretty much why they didn't invite Beerus to the little meeting that they're having and whatnot. But then Vados pretty much says like, oh, it may be Goku's fault, but if he hadn't held that tournament, then all the other low level universes would have been erased for sure and whatnot already and stuff like that. So it's pretty much like sticking up for Goku in this sense, but everybody else is just like, no, they're not good and all that other stuff. And we actually got to see where the other gods of destruction live and whatnot, and some of them looked pretty cool and some of them looked kind of like generic and just kind of basic. I liked that female god destruction's little house. It looked pretty cool and whatnot. Like it looked like, I don't know, like you can't really see too much because like it's kind of like dark and whatnot, but like the stuff that you did see did look pretty cool, as well as that robot god destructions, the whole like techno themed kind of house looked pretty cool to me. Everyone else just looked kind of like the same, or like just stuff we've already seen before and whatnot. That mouse's house looked kind of cool with the little statue of himself and whatnot, the little chair and stuff like that they had and whatnot. But everything else to me just didn't seem all that appealing. So pretty much the clown god destruction is pretty much bragging about his warriors, the Pride Troopers, and then that's where it cuts off to one of the Pride Troopers. His name is Dispo, I believe, the Beerus looking guy, and pretty much he's like fighting this monster off that's attacking that planet from earlier and whatnot, but he's having some trouble until pretty much Toppo, the leader, pretty much comes in along with the general guy. I know they said his name, but I kind of forgot what it was. I think it started with an S. I'm not really sure, but pretty much they go in and they pretty much start like kind of act like the Ginyu Force in a sense. Like they start posing and whatnot, and pretty much saying like, oh, evil will never prevail, and they fight for freedom and all that stuff. And then pretty much they destroy the monster and they pretty much head out in their spaceship. So they're pretty much discussing the tournament of power and whatnot, and that if they don't win, then their whole universe is going to be erased. And so pretty much they think it's a good idea if they let Jiren enter, and pretty much he's like training, quite ominously. Like the music kind of intensified and whatnot, and it was just him in like this black background and whatnot with this like crazy looking red kind of almost, I wouldn't say flame like aura, but just like this red kind of aura engulfing him and whatnot. And then it pretty much cuts back to Goku, who's pretty much on Dende's lookout pretty much along with Mr. Popo. I don't know why they don't try to recruit him, but that's just how it is, I guess. Maybe he'd be too OP. But pretty much he asks Dende where 17 is and whatnot, and pretty much he tells him like, oh, he already knows about the tournament of power and stuff like that, and Goku's kind of surprised about it and whatnot. And so pretty much he tells him that 17's like on a island, south, a big island south of where they are and whatnot, and pretty much he offers to take him there. Meanwhile, we cut to Champa again, who's pretty much calling Kaba, pretty much saying like, oh, we need Saiyans that are stronger than you and whatnot, because I don't know, he doesn't believe that Kaba could cut it. So pretty much he's just asking for more Saiyans, to join them in the tournament of power and whatnot. Gohan goes to see Piccolo and whatnot, pretty much telling them that they're gonna start training immediately and whatnot. The tournament of power is being built, and we get a quick glimpse of 17, doing his little park ranger type thing and whatnot. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it was just the music. No, I'm pretty sure it was just the music, but the music that they played like throughout that whole scene and whatnot was pretty epic. It's got me pretty pumped for what's to come later and whatnot. And it seems to be pretty epic next episode. Goku squaring off with 17. This whole spaceship thing, getting involved and whatnot. It should be very exciting to see how that all plays out and whatnot. To see 17 again after all this time and stuff like that should be pretty cool to see how that plays out. But tell me what you guys thought of this episode. Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Did you think they should have added anything else in here that wasn't in there? I felt like it was a pretty good episode, animation looking pretty good and whatnot, nothing really amiss here. Just another kind of recruitment episode and stuff like that. A little bit of world building too, if anything, us seeing like all the different gods and Kais and whatnot, and just like getting ready for this upcoming tournament. Hopefully it's a good one. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this review, guys. And until the next one, Silver Sun is out.